The good liars are back, this time in Wisconsin, interviewing MAGA to expose these wild animals in their natural habitat, and it ends up being just about as humiliating as always, so let's take a look at some of the best moments.
We don't have enough people in this country to cover the votes that Biden said he got. I mean, it's just unrealistic.
Well, there are enough people in the country.
Sure. Are there enough legal people in the country?
Yeah.
Right. Do they vote? Are they dead? Do they?
Well, no. People investigated this stuff.
Yeah, well, the investigation, whose side are you looking at?
It depends what your feelings are.
Right. Exactly.
Fuck them.
I love, or I guess I hate, I find it funny how Trump has instilled his lack of accountability in all of his followers. Like, not only can Trump not take accountability for his wrongdoings, his losses, his shortcomings, but MAGA definitely can't either. It's like a father-son relationship, but as toxic as it could get. And I bet most of them are felons as well. You know, it's kind of cute. But as to the dead people voting, this has been widely debunked. Trump commissioned a report, like Trump's own report looked into this, claiming that there was 5,000 dead people who voted in Fulton County. His own research found 23 in the entire state, not even just in that county. In Clark County, Trump said there was 1,500. His own research found 12 in the entire state. And the most damning part of it all is when they looked into where the absentee ballots were happening, they found 162 periods of it happening for Trump and only 39 for Biden. So what Trump claims to be the most fraudulent happened more towards him. And also, around 1.9 billion people have voted since 1980. In that same period of time, the Heritage Foundation, a conservative think tank, in their own words, like super MAGA, super conservative, found only 1,500 instances of voter fraud, which for the less mathematically inclined, that's like 0.00000000000000001% of votes. If that. Both parties, by the way, have mentioned that we should do what we can to stop voter fraud. Republicans, however, were never worried about disenfranchised voters before 2020, however. They were fine cutting black people out of it in any way they could. But as we cover in this video here, you can go through the claims of Democrats themselves mentioning it, that MAGA tries to clip out of context and say, see, Democrats deny elections as well. The difference is the Democrats stood on never denying the election results. They just said, moving forward, we need to fix this. Because sure, some will happen, but it's not a proportional amount to the election. There's like 100 million people who vote. There's like 20 or 30 maybe fraudulent votes at most in election. But MAGA takes it to a conspiracy level to prey on people's ignorance and acts like it's millions of votes that need overturned.
You think there should be books that are banned in school?
Books like that, yes, that are teaching children wrong moral values.
What about a book that says slavery is okay?
I have never seen a book that said slavery was okay.
What about a book where somebody sells their daughter into slavery for 200 foreskins? Would that be okay?
No, nothing on. No, like I said, good moral values is what needs to be taught, needs to be brought back in.
Like books like the Bible?
The Bible would be an awesome one.
You think the Bible should be taught in school?
I do. It's history. It should be taught as a history class because that's what it is. It is a history book.
The two things I just said were from the Bible.
I'll show a couple on the screen while we talk about this, but anyone who reads the Bible knows it's full of verses that justify slavery, justify selling children into sex slavery, justifies abuse and violence. I mean, it's funny that MAGA thinks that books that have an LGBT person in it needs to be banned, but kids can read all of these kinds of things. I mean, conservatives are now hanging up the 10 Commandments in schools, even though the Bible doesn't really instill the kind of morals that you want in anyone. But of course, MAGA showing their bias again.
I made the shirt right after the Mugshot came out because it's one of the most, important photos of all time.
Yeah. Why is it important?
I mean, it just shows you how corrupt the system is, that he could be, arrested and shown in front of everyone, like in this embarrassing manner on totally trumped up charges.
And trumped up charges, what does that mean?
Let's see, this one was from the Georgia one. Let's see, that one was for the election integrity one. Am I correct on that?
Well, it was about maybe trying to steal the election and intimidate people because he lost Georgia.
Yeah, well, I mean...
But so should leaders be able to pressure people to change election results?
yeah, why not?
The same people who pretend voting fraud and election integrity is a very important thing and a major problem in this country are so quick to justify every fraudulent thing Trump did in the election in hopes to stay to power. This guy would undoubtedly cry if Kamala Harris pressured states to overturn votes in 2024, but he sees no problem with it when Trump did it. Do you honestly think Republicans, Fox News, media cycles would ever stop talking about that if it was Biden? If MAGA cares so much about voter fraud, you think they'd have a problem with Trump pressuring state officials to find him votes that weren't there, trying to install fraudulent electors that weren't certified by the states to throw the election back to him, and trying to pressure Mike Pence to act against the Constitution. Remember the Constitution, the thing that conservatives are supposed to value? I mean, it's really silly and insane levels of copium these people have to drink to justify their things and the mental gymnastics they have to jump through to do so. If you think Trump's mugshot is the most important moment in history, you might be in a cult.